stuff. Like this, like, you've been setting me up all this time. Like I said, I'll never deny I made a mistake. Okay, I fell into the trap. It could have happened to anybody. I will never deny that. But this girl.
What's up, y'all? Lord have mercy, Jesus. Listen, y'all know black folks ain't never on damn time, so I ain't know why y'all sitting in the comments talking about, yeah, hurry up. Y'all can't hear me. Can you hear me? You can hear me. Okay. Y'all gonna keep hearing this damn chair tonight, because we about to get into some motherfucking things. Now, I was gonna come on here with some praise break music, but I said, no, we ain't gonna do that. I'm gonna wait till we get to court. And then, I'll do that. I want to thank y'all so much for tuning in tonight. I know some of y'all got to go to work tomorrow. Some of y'all is off. I want to thank y'all for just coming on and joining the NC Beat tonight. Hold on, y'all, because this light is killing me, y'all. Give me one moment. Hold on. I can't do this light. Give me one minute. Let me turn it down. Let me turn it down just a little bit. All right, y'all. So listen, I need everybody right now to share this video because I want this pastor to go all across the world, because everybody in the world in Christendom needs to know who the fuck Dimiro Dirty Butt Johnson is. Okay, this right here is Dimiro Dirty Butt Johnson. Okay, Mr. Dirty Butt. All right, Mr. Dirty Butt. Dirty Butt. I know one of you, many of you may remember, excuse me. About 2 weeks ago, I did an interview with his wife at the time. Well, still his wife, but she's getting ready to divorce him. And while we was live, I told y'all about a guy that had came on, and he was basically just talking about, Damiro, him and Damiro being in a relationship, and he thought that him and Damiro was going to be a family. He thought that he was going to be the first man, the first lady of Dimiro Johnson's church. But Cheyenne, slid on up and through there. And, within 4 months of her meeting Damiro, they went to Vegas and they got married. All right. She's now filing a divorce because in that audio that you all heard was Damiro admitting and telling his wife, who recorded him, that he felt like he was set up. He feels like that any man would have fell in his shoes. And I just want to say, sir, you knew that girl was 14 years old. Okay. So stop acting like you knew that you ain't know how old this girl was and you just fell into a trap. You ain't falling into no trap. You walk into these things. You know how old these young girls are, and you walk into their coochies. That's what you do. That's what you're known for. You walk into giving these boys your butt. Dirty butt. You a dirty butt. And I've been telling you since August that your ass was going to jail. And today, oh my God, today, it was early this morning. It was down at Hartsville, Jackson, Atlanta airport, where the dog thought he was going to get away. He thought he was going to run, but the Dukes of Hazzard was on his ass. So anyways, I'm going to give y'all a little backstory before I bring up the baby mom of Damiro, his first child's mother. I will bring her up. We're going to get into some things. We're going to talk for a little bit. and I'm gonna let y'all be on y'all way because I want y'all to get up early tomorrow, and I want y'all to be able to go to work, and I want y'all to be able to have a smile on your face. And when the customers come in, I want you to say, "Welcome to Subway, welcome to McDonald's. Thank you for calling Time Warner Cable." No, don't give no attitude because Gerald kept you up last night. All right, so listen, this right here is 35-year-old Pastor Dimiro Johnson. Okay, he's out in Greensboro, North Carolina, GSO. All right, now Dimiro Johnson had been messing around with a 14-year-old girl at the time. He was bringing her over to his house, you know, claiming she was his spiritual daughter. Y'all know how these pastors do nowadays, where they claim that the child is, you know, these kids is their spiritual children and all that stuff or whatever. But this was a young girl who really looked up to Damiro and who really loved him like all of his members do. We love our pastors and we love our leaders. Well, Dimiro Johnson had her over his house, and he had told this young lady that some other people from the church, from his ministry, was coming over, and I guess they was going to have a sleepover, whatnot. Well, Damiro had told the 14-year-old girl at the time, you know, you and your brother can just sleep in my room with me, and you know, everyone else that comes over, they can either go in my daughter's room or they can go downstairs. You know, we'll figure it out. Make a long story short, the children from the ministry never came over. So what he should have did was say, you and your brother go in one room, you go in the other room, and I'll see y'all in the morning or whatever. Woo to woo. Whoa. But he said, no, y'all can stay up in here with me. Okay. And they did. Okay. When Damiro, when the young lady's brother went to sleep, Damiro got hard and he started getting horny. And he started rubbing on this little girl's neck, kissing on her, asking her, has a man ever kissed you? She didn't know what to say. Well, Damiro pulls her down to the ground, pull her pants down, and start having sex with her, start penetrating her. Let me stop. I'm not going to say have sex. Start raping her, because that's what it was. Okay? Asking her if it hurt. Did she want him to slow down? Before she could even give an answer, he's still going. And Dimiro Johnson has downplayed this whole thing all this long until today, when he got caught, when he got busted. And his baby mom, who was at the airport getting her daughter, when the police swarmed in and got his ass, he almost dropped the child. Well, she's gonna come up here and she gonna talk. We gonna talk. Now, let me say this. I don't give a, if you go to, I don't, listen, let me tell you something. I don't care who church you go to. I don't care who your pastor is. And I don't give a damn if you still like Dimiro Johnson. But let me be very clear on what I'm about to say. Y'all pastors that's gay in the pulpit need to sit down. Y'all female pastors that's lesbians in the pulpit, you need to sit down. Y'all gay that's in the choir, you need to sit down. Y'all that's gay playing instruments, you need to sit down and you need to get delivered, because you are operating in a dirty spirit. You are operating in a nasty, disgusting spirit, and you need to sit your ass down until God deliver you, and then you get up. Don't be out here like China Davis with a wig on, talking about you a hermaphrodite, because you want the people to accept you, because you really want to be a motherfucking woman when you really a man. Okay? That's why these people in the church keep coming back in there and leaving the same way they came, because ain't y'all spirit not clean. And you want to sit up here and talk about somebody. You want to sit up here and preach to somebody. Then you want somebody to spray some whip shots in your coochie and eat it. You want to sit up here. You want to lay hands on somebody, but you really want to feel down their back. Y'all sit up here in the pulpit talking about God gonna heal your prostate. Come up here, let me touch your prostate. You nasty demon. You know ain't nothing wrong with that man prostate that you prophesying to, little girl. You just want to touch on that man penis. Oh, God gonna heal that lump on your butt. Turn around. Bend over. Let me lay some of this oil down there. Y'all just nasty, fucking with the children. Leave the children alone. Stop playing with the children. Y'all are so nasty and you are so disgusting. Find somebody that you like. Find a grown person. All these parking lot lizards, all these ushers standing at the door, wait for one of y'all to come out there. All this stuff that's going on in the church, and you going to the children, you going to the nursery fucking with the kids while they learning their ABCs. Leave the children alone. You need to be locked up. Somebody need to put a in your head. Leave the children alone. Stop messing with the kids. Find you somebody your own age. Suck their penis. Lick their booty. Stop messing with the kids, taking the kids' innocence away. Stop grooming these kids. Stop making these kids think you their spiritual daddy. You ain't nothing but a Mac daddy. That's all you is. You ain't nothing but a scab. All this free coochie out here, and you want to mess with the children. You want to sex the children. You want the children to be sleeping with you. Get delivered. Where the bishops and the pastors at now? Y'all ain't gonna come out and say nothing about this foolishness going on in the church because you doing it too. That's why you're quiet. Well, I don't want to mess up my money. Get a job, ho! Because what you're doing when you got 500 people on your membership list and only 25 showing up, you still ain't paying all your bills. Get a job, ho. So what does it matter if they don't come? If you say this foolishness need to stop in the church, what are bishops at? Because let me tell you something. A lot of y'all North Carolina pastors, I'm just getting around to your case. I got cases. I got emails with proof on you. I got your voicemail of you having phone sex. They recording you. Show do. I got your dick. I got everything, your ass pictures. I got your cheating on your wife. I just ain't got around to you yet. But 2023, I'm going to get around to you. So I'm going to spare some of y'all if you come out and you start speaking out and saying this stuff is wrong. Now, I'm going to spare some of you. But some of you, I'm going to kill your ministry. You can call me a witch, call me a warlock, call what you want to do. The Lord has hired me. I'm doing the Lord's work. Oh, you the devil. You destroying the church. You destroying your own self. You destroying your own man. You ain't never had a ministry. Your ministry was destroyed when you stepped foot in the door. When you put your ugly face on the flyer, you was already destroyed. I'm telling you now. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Y'all better stop. Because they sending it to Mr. Jackson. They sending it to me. They are sending it to me. All right. Sentries, how you doing tonight? Praise the Lord.
Oh, you had me clicking on this
I'm sorry.
guitar here.
Oh, you was over there playing. You was over there playing the instrument.
I was over here playing the guitar for y'all.
Listen, what a church at tonight. Listen, I want to thank you. I want to thank you so much for coming on. Today has been hey.
Look, Gerald said hey. Say hey, Mr. Gerald.
Hey, how you doing?
Brushing my teeth.
You brushing your teeth?
Yes.
Keep brushing your teeth. Don't be like the grown people that don't brush their teeth at all.
Oh, they only use mouthwash. We're not gonna talk about that.
So I want to thank you. I want to thank you so much for coming on tonight. It has been an eventful day for you. It has been. It has been an eventful day, and we gonna get to that. I want to say that for the end. We gonna get to that. But first, I want you to just kind of introduce yourself to us and tell us who you are, or whatever. We just want to get to know you a little bit before we get to diving into, everything else.
Okay. Well, first and foremost, I am Sentry's pool. I'm a mother of four kids, 2 girls, 2 boys, and I currently, as of right now, just a a well
Right.
well working woman who
Yes.
just
Come
take
on,
care of
well
my
working mother.
kids, do what I
Yes.
got to do to make
Period.
sure that my kids are happy, and that's all that matters.
Yes.
I do go to church. I go when I can because I work.
Yes.
So, but that's just pretty much it. I'm just real, and that's me. I'm from
Mhm.
Atlanta. That's just what we do. We just keep it real.
Come on. Come on. Straight from the A.
Always.
That- well, it's very much to meet you. It's a pleasure. Um, you know Dimiro Johnson, right?
Yes.
How do you know Damiro?
So, back in 2018,
Mhm.
I met Damiro at my father's church, the late Apostle Kevin Nick,
Mhm.
um, back in Decatur. I didn't know who he was, but I'm like, whatever, because I was the type of person, I was my, I was part of the nurse and adjunct team back in Atlanta for my father. So I was on the serving board, and of course, most girls have cute dances or cute shouts or whatnot.
Right.
So I was one of those, me. um and after church, I was, going to take his stuff up to the office, take my father's stuff up to the office, and
Mhm.
Damiro came out of nowhere and was like, "Hey, nice to meet you." And I'm like, "Okay, hey," and I just kept walking. But then I would say that next day, I believe, no, I'm lying. It was that it was like a week later because my daughter had a
Mhm.
project, so it was during the school day. My daughter had a project, and I received an inbox from him stating, he was like, "Hey, what's up?" And I'm like, "Well, who is this?" And he was like, "Well, this is the guy with the dreads." And I'm like, "Oh, the apostle guy." And
Mm.
yeah, he
He
had
had
red
dreads.
he had red dreads back
You
then.
sure it wasn't no, you said red dreads?
They was red.
Oh, that's probably was during the time he was down at the Marquette in Atlanta, shaking that ass, little fast.
No, not
Oh, it
necessarily.
was?
No.
Oh, he wasn't no stripper then.
Oh, I don't know what he was at that time. When
That's
I
what I'm
I
saying.
saw him,
Okay.
I don't know what he was.
Mm-hmm.
But I did kind of remember his face because
Mm-hmm.
back in my
Go ahead.
past, I did used to kind of do other stuff back in my past before I went to church or whatnot. But I kind of realized who his face was. But then again, I really didn't pay attention. But then once I saw him at church, I was like, whatever. I didn't really pay attention to him because everybody know when I go to church, I just go to church. I really don't pay attention to nobody.
Right.
Um, but then there was, like I said, I received an inbox later on that week
Mm-hmm.
stating, he was like, "Hey, what's up? How you doing?" And I'm like, "Who is this?" And he was like, "It's the guy with the red dress and whatnot." And I'm like, "Oh, the apostle guy." And he was like,
Right.
"Yeah, but he was like, but I'm a nigga at the end of the day." And I'm
Mm.
like, "Okay, well,
Right.
whatever, I guess." And he was like, "Yeah, you fine, shorty," and all that kind of stuff. It was, what guys normally do. Um, what guys normally do. So I'm like, yeah, here. So I was just like, okay, whatever, it is what it is. Thank you, Mom. I'm like, it is what it is. So, pretty much, make the long story short, I had after messaging him on Facebook Messenger, I ended up having a kickback, and I invited him to my kickback because one of my best friends had ended up moving in. So it was a long time since I seen her. So I had a kickback, and I invited him to come over. And I end up, drinking and whatnot, doing drugs and stuff, and we had an affair,
Right.
and
And
it
it,
it kind of
you know,
weird
weird.
after that I did. I was like, yo, and I told my best friend, I said, wait a minute, baby, something
So,
right, I just did something I didn't know that I did, but okay. She said, well, yeah, you was drunk, but it is what it is. I'm like, okay, cool, I understand. So, to make the long story short, it just went from there. I wanted a family. Everybody know I wanted. That's what
right.
I have a family. But that was just like, I never knew the background of him, but then he didn't really seem,
Right.
yeah, he seemed
So,
like off to me. But
right.
I was just
So,
trying to, so
so you didn't know that you didn't know that he was gay? Like you couldn't tell that he was gay when you met him?
right off back, he kind of gave me that vibe that he was at one of the clubs that I used to go to.
Mm-hmm.
Because back in Atlanta, I used to hang out with a lot of LGBTQ.
Right.
So he was at one of the clubs that I used to go to, and he kind of gave me that office vibe, especially, he was walking a little pigeon toed with his, whatever, switching and carrying on. So I it kind of gave me that vibe, but then I was just like, okay, I know a lot. I know some people that do have that vibe, but some people really have changed and they really want to do better.
Mm-hmm. So you say so you're saying that some people are metrosexual and some people have been delivered, because see, I know a God that when he delivers you, he take it away from you.
He
Like,
delivered real.
it's your crooked road becomes straight. You understand what I'm saying? That's if you really want to be delivered.
Right.
Okay, so how long did you all date after you had an affair, y'all had sex or whatever? So how long was it, like, when y'all got into a relationship?
So we had a conversation. And I found out. I went to work and I found out from my best friend, because my best friend is the best friend of 8 kids, seven kids so far. So she told me, she was like, "Well, I believe you're pregnant," and I was like, "No, I don't think so." So she was like, "Did y'all use?" She asked me. She said, "Did we use protection?" And I was like, and I was honest with her, and I told her, "No, we did not." But after that, and I took a pregnancy test and I sent it to him, and I said, "Okay, we need to have a conversation." And he was like, "Well, what is the conversation?" And I told him, I said, "Well, I'm pregnant." And he said, "Oh, well, I always wanted a baby." Okay. At that time, I really wasn't trying to get pregnant, because
Right.
I had just moved into my house, my apartment. I had just moved into my apartment, and I had my best friend and her kids and her husband and stuff staying with me. So I really wasn't in a shape to have another baby at the moment. But I'm not the type to have an abortion either.
Right. Right.
So he was like, "Well, what are you gonna do?" And I said, "Well, we need to go to the hospital and confirm it." So we did. I got off of work and I confirmed it that I was pregnant. And then right then and there, I asked him, I said, "Wait a minute." I said, what is your status? Like, what is your status? Because you seem
So you asked him what was his status after you had sex with him?
Yeah, because I was intoxicated. So at that time I really wasn't about a status. But then when after everything happened and it clicked in my head, I'm like, yeah, what's your status? Because
So you was just drunk and horny.
pretty much.
Both. Okay, ain't that wrong with that? Go ahead now. Go ahead
Hey,
now. Look, tell your truth, baby. Look.
but but yes, I asked him what's his status. He said he was negative or whatever. I said, so you don't got no AIDS, you don't got no HIV, you don't have none of that. He was like, no. So I talked to I talked to my sister, and my sister said, "Well, just get a test done anyway." So I said, "Okay, that's fine. I don't mind." And I told him, I said, "Well, I'm gonna get tested. I don't know about you, but I'm gonna get." He said, "Well, I think I'll wait." And I said, "Well, no, I don't think you should wait. I think you should get tested too." So we both got tested at the same time. Mine came back negative. His came back negative. But as the time went on, and to this day, I still get tested. So, and my test is still negative. My daughter's test is still negative. But, kind of when it goes back to the relationship wise, that kind of intervened in our relationship, because he kept asking me, "Did you go get tested?" I'm like, "Yes." And I guess that kind of bothered him, because he felt like the first time should have been the only time that I got tested. And that's not true. You need to go get tested several times. And during the relationship wise, he just felt I seen some stuff and he did some stuff and I did some stuff, but I just felt like it wasn't best for either one of us to be in a relationship with each other, because he was doing
the stuff that you was doing? What excuse me, what was the stuff that he was doing?
He was doing way undercover stuff, like still dealing with dudes and having conversation with dudes and just doing secret stuff.
Right.
That I can't put it all on him, because I was doing it too. Because at that time
You was doing it before he started doing it, or you was doing it after he started doing it?
Well, actually, I had a girlfriend, and at the time, I had a girlfriend. He knew about it, and But the thing was, I didn't know about him having somebody else on the side.
Mm.
So
So y'all ain't real gays.
well, I'm not. I don't even do girls anymore. I'm sorry.
Okay, because I be a little bit I be a little bit confused because I be like, well, Damiro is a full-fledged gay dude, so I'm like, well, damn, why not you just be all these churches? You got Dupree up there. Everybody be like, why the fuck you keep on fucking with Dupree? Cause I don't like that big girl. I mean, you got all these churches with full flaming pastors that's gay. I mean, just be gay. I don't understand this. I'm gay, but I want to date a girl and get her pregnant, and I don't understand these y'all women.
Well, before
Not personally attacking you, but it's like, if it walked like a duck, quack like it's a duck. So it's like I
right.
just be confused. So he was dealing with who he really, because we know Damiro, hard dick is what Damiro desires. In the word of my auntie Kaya, hard dick is what he desires. So we understand that.
But pirates.
Right. But so he was fucking the boys and he was messing with you.
Yeah, because what it was, and I thought it was just one person, but it wasn't just one person. But because a lot of people kept coming back telling me, "Well, Damiro said you was a one night stand," and I'm like, I was a one night stand, but we was in a full-fledged relationship for about almost a year. We was in a relationship until I just decided I just couldn't do it.
Right. So was the dudes that he was talking to, were they pastors? Were they members? How old were they?
I'm not exactly sure how old were they. I do know it was go ask your sister. I do know that it was one guy that was a part of his church that was doing praise and worship at the time. And I know that they had something going on, and that didn't come out. He was younger than me because I'm 29. He was, but back then I was like 6. I would say he was 21, 22 maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. So now 25, 20, 25.
So you'll say your relationship lasted how long?
I would say about 7 months.
Okay, about 7 months. Okay. For anybody that's watching, we just trying to understand how she met Damiro. She has a child by Damiro. So you go to the hospital and you find out that you are pregnant. That's why y'all got to be on time, because I'm not like them other bloggers. I'm not gonna recap shit. You just gonna catch goddamn. You gonna catch because you gonna catch the replay. Okay, and you gonna catch it like that. If you ain't been here on time, that's why I come on a little late. Cause I know some of y'all say, "Oh, it's 9:06. Gerald ain't came on yet." He's supposed to, okay, so I'm here. Be here. Okay. If I say 8, I'm gonna be on between 8 and 8:10. So always remember. Okay. If I say 9:30, 8:30, it's gonna always, okay. It's gonna be 10 minutes out. All right. So you go to the hospital, you find out that you're pregnant. What happens when you find out that you're pregnant?
He was excited. I mean, it wasn't nothing that I could do. I was okay. I didn't have no choice but to be okay, because like I said, I don't do abortions. So I wasn't getting rid of it. And we, like I said, we had a conversation, and we decided that we were gonna try a relationship. And I said, okay, well, we can try. That's fine.
Right.
But I mean, the time came, we were growing, and we shut down on again, and we on again, and we just shut down. And I just spoke came to the conclusion that it just wasn't going to work out.
It just wasn't going to work out.
Yeah.
So when he went and got his test, what was his test? Because a man came on 2 weeks ago when Cheyenne was on, and he said that Damiro gave him HIV.
Yeah. Now that had to be afterwards, because when he went and got tested with me, it was negative.
Okay. It was negative. So why do you go? Okay. I'm not gonna ask you that. Okay. So your daughter, Brooklyn, right?
Yes.
How old is Brooklyn?
3.
3, and that was her that was saying hi or brushing her teeth. Hi, Brooklyn.
We know you
You're
3.
3. She's like 3.
Like my brother.
Yes, I do not listen. I was about to say something, but I'm gonna just hold my mouth because I'm like, girl, you look like your mama. Okay, to me, who you think she look like?
She resembles her dad in many
I
ways.
can't. Now this new baby,
She
look
look
like Damiro ugly ass.
she looks like Brooklyn. She does. She looks like Brooklyn when she was a baby. She really does.
Yeah, when Brooklyn look like her dad to you.
Yeah.
Hmm. Well, so you have Brooklyn. So was he a deadbeat? Was he in Brooklyn's life? I mean, I mean, did you have him on child support, or was
No.
he was?
I didn't have him on child support. We were doing joint custody. Demiro was never a deadbeat dad. He always felt like he always did for me. It was never a time where he had to go without any. I mean, nothing. She never went without. Um, from the
Mhm,
time she was born um, until today. From the
mhm,
time she was born, that she never went without. He was always there. He did the best he could for her. If he had to give her his shirt in the tender weather, he would.
mhm. Right, right, right. Okay, so these new allegations that had come out in August of 2022, when I wrote the story, when I spoke with Miss Tierra Barnes, who said that Dimiro Johnson had impregnated her then 14-year-old girl. Now, her daughter, Tierra's daughter, is 15 now. And 3 weeks ago, she had the baby, and she's so beautiful. And I tell people all the time that, me, I mean, personally, I don't believe in abortion. That those are my beliefs, but
Right.
I am also understanding to people who do what they need to do. Now, in this situation, they made the decision to still birth this child because let's be clear, none of us asked to be here.
Right.
Okay, our mamas and our daddies was doing the nasty thing, and
Right.
we got here. We didn't ask to be here. So the baby is born. That put the icing on the cake. So when did you hear about the allegations before the story came out that Damiro had been having sex with a 14-year-old girl?
So I first heard about it. We was in convocation
Mhm,
and they came to our church and I bishop at the time. I was getting ready to go to the back with him to help him out with another one of the adjutants. And they stopped me and they was like, "Hey, how you doing?" And I was like, "I'm good." And they said, "You heard about?" They was like, "You heard about what happened?" I was like, "What are you talking about?" And they was like, "You didn't hear about what happened with so and so?" And I'm like, "No, I didn't hear about what happened." They was like, "Well, you know that they was like, she's pregnant by him." And I'm like, "Who?" And they was like, "Well, Damiro." And I'm like, "Now I know y'all lying. Now somebody lying to me because
mhm,
he has a whole daughter out here. Like
mhm,
I couldn't see him doing that to somebody else's daughter, and he has a daughter.
mhm,
He always had it in people's head that no, stop. He always had it in people's head that um I'm not gonna let anything happen to my daughter. Nobody better not mess with my daughter. So I'm thinking that he's one of those dads. But like I told him, I said I just can't see that. And it was kind of funny because at one point, you know, we all were talking. Like they would come and speak, they'd run up to me and hey, but then I kind of noticed that they started kind of being offish. So I was like, something couldn't be right. But I was like, okay, well maybe it's because they growing older, they feeling themselves or whatever. So I was like, okay, well cool. But then, like I said, when they came up to me, I'm like, No, y'all lying. Like somebody lying. This can't be true. But
So did you not believe him because he never showed you predatory behavior around you, or you just didn't believe it because it was just like, no, ain't no fucking way. Ain't no way he don't have a sister.
so um I'm not saying that I didn't believe it because
Mhm.
right when I was told, I contacted him immediately and I was like, hey,
Okay.
we need to talk. And he was like, well, what is it about? And I was like, well, I was, it's something about that I heard. And he was like, well, I don't want to talk about it. So I said, so you know what I'm talking about? He said, yeah, but I just don't really want to talk about that. And I'm like, okay. So I didn't ask him again. I just immediately, I was just like, it something not right. And you're not telling me what's what. And I need to know what's going on because we have a daughter. So I need to
Mhm.
know exactly what's going on and I need to know what's what. And I need you to be honest, but you don't want to be honest. You don't want to talk.
Mhm.
So I wasn't gonna force him to talk. I'm not that type of person. I've never been that type of person, never will be that type of person. Um, so I was just like, okay, you don't want to talk? Fine, whatever.
Right.
It's gonna come out. Rather you tell
Right.
me not. And then when it
Right.
blew up, I contacted him again. And I no, when it blew up, that's when Cheyenne reached out to me. And
Are you
she
talking
was
about when my story went out?
yes,
Mhm.
when the story went out. But she had been contacting me beforehand and was like, do you know about the kids that stay at his house? And I'm like, well, the only few kids that I know that stay at his house is the kids that I when I go to his house to pick up my daughter, and that's it.
Mhm.
So she was like, well, what about what about the other people that stay at his house? I don't. After I left his church, it was really a lot of people that I didn't know that joined, and there was a lot of people that I just really didn't mess with after I left his church.
Okay. And what year did you? Okay, so you left his church last year.
No, I left his church. I left his church in 2019.
Oh, you left it in 2019 after y'all had broken up and all that stuff.
Yes,
Okay. But this stuff that I'm talking about was last year.
right. The,
Okay.
this is stuff like what you're talking about is last year, but after I left his church in 2019, but it was people that came in that came to me about the situation that I didn't know nothing
Okay.
about.
That
I
you
don't talk.
got you. So once you find out everything, you talk to Miss Tierra, and had you had been in contact with her like throughout this whole ordeal after the story had broke and all of
Yeah,
that stuff?
yeah. I was in contact with her only because at the end of the day, I didn't know which way the story was gonna go. So
Okay.
I had at a mutual party because if it okay, give me a minute. If that is his, if it is his sister, guess what? I'm the one. Once he's gone, I'm the one that's gonna have to keep her connected to her sister.
Mhm.
And then if it's not, I'm still the one that's gonna have to keep her connected to her father at the end of the day.
Mhm.
So
Right.
it was a mutual kind of a mutual thing in a mutual place. But I mean, at the end of the day, I was just rocking the middle.
Right. Right. So throughout all of this, throughout the story coming out, the months passing by, you talking to Miss Tierra. At any point, did Damiro finally say, "Look, let me just tell you what's going on"? Did he ever? I mean, tell you that?
He finally came out and he told me. He said,
When was
"Well,
this? What month was this?
last month,
Oh, oh, December.
last month."
Oh, he telling everybody. He told everybody last month. He must was feeling in his spirit what was about to go down. They say he a prophet, child. But he ain't see this coming though.
Because
Okay.
the thing was, like I told him, I said, I need you to be honest with me. Because at the end of the day, we have a child together and we have joint custody. I don't need you to go anywhere with our child and you get pulled over
Right.
because you were 2 states away and here I am up here.
Mm-hmm.
I can't just leave and just jump on the airplane and just go and just come get it. I can't just do that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have to, like, it has to be one of my off days that I'm able to go get her.
Right.
So, and he kept saying, he was like, no, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. I'm like, okay, well, I'm just making sure, but I need you to be honest with me. So he came out and he was like, well, yes this and yes that and yes this and yes that. And I asked him, I said, so is there any possible chance that this baby might be yours? And he was like, I just don't think so. And I'm like, well, ain't no way, ain't no way, ain't no
So
way.
you didn't believe him.
No. I no.
No, when he said no or whatever he said, you didn't believe him when you said ain't no way.
About the baby, and he was like, I don't believe so. I told him right, and I said, well, ain't no way, because I seen what the baby looked like, and I know what my daughter looked like.
Mm-hmm.
And if her story was matching around the time that my daughter was telling me this, and I had to go back, because like I said, my daughter is 3, and she's
Mm-hmm.
very smart for her age.
Yes.
So if she can come and tell me that such and such was doing this, and such and such was doing that, or such and such was this place, such and such was that place, or this person was doing this person was doing that, and I gotta rewind back in my head to the story that you're telling me, and she said, yeah, some just you just admit that it's yours.
When you say you have to rewind back the story that she's telling you, who are you referring to?
The story that the daughter was telling me, when I used to
Mm-hmm.
have sessions with the mom,
Right.
and we was trying to get all details of what was going on, and the
Mm-hmm.
story that she was telling me, and I had to replay the what my daughter told me in my head, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, yeah, okay.
Right. So your 3-year-old daughter was telling you things as well.
Yeah, she would come and tell. She was like, "Mom, I was she was telling me, she was like, Mom, I slept with so and so, so and so. It was one of the girls. It was a girl. It was a girls, because
Who? Oh, Brooklyn. Go ahead.
my 3-year-old,
While she was with Damiro.
while she was at his house,
Go ahead. Okay.
and
So
she would
she's
come back.
go ahead.
She would come back, and she was like, well, Mom, I slept with I slept in the bed with so and so, so and so, and I'm like, oh, okay. I never knew that it would have been his bed. She just said she slept in bed with some of the girls that was there, but like I said, I never knew that it was his bed, because Brooklyn has her own room in his house,
Right.
so I never knew that it would have been his bed.
So did Brooklyn tell you how many girls she slept in the bed with?
One time that I picked her up, she did say, she slept with her god sisters, which she does have 3 god sisters.
Mm-hmm.
She does have 3 god sisters. And I remember that, because I remember going over there getting her. They were all in the bed, they all was asleep. Um, so I do remember that. But then she did say one time that she slept in the bed with a young lady. And I was like, oh, okay, but I guess it was,
Tierra Bourne's daughter.
yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if she watched her while he went to work or what. I'm not sure. But she did state that she was laying, that she did lay in the bed with him, lay in the bed with her. And they went off to sleep. I don't know if he was there. Now that I can't say, but she did state that she did lay in the bed with her.
So the girls that were in the bed with her, Damiro, they were in Damiro bedroom.
No, they was in Brooklyn's room. The three.
One time she was in her room, but so you're
The
saying that
other
she
time,
slept.
she stated Taria's daughter's name, and she was like, I slept in the bed with Taria's
Right,
daughter.
right.
Yeah.
But
So
it's
I said, okay. I didn't think nothing of it. I'm just, like I said, I don't know if he was home, but she was like, oh, we slept in my daddy room. And I'm like, Okay. Like I said, I don't know if he was home.
Okay. So
So that
she so your daughter never told you.
babysitter for him or not. I don't know. I was told she was, but I don't know exactly if she really was.
Mm. So, but did you know that? Okay, let me ask you this. So your Brooklyn never told you that, and I believe that kids talk because little Samaj on TikTok, he 2 years old, and that boy be talking about I'm doing good today. I can't complain. So, but my nephew, even he can,
Right.
communicate. But so she never told. So your daughter never told you that her dad was in the bed with the girls that she was in the bed with, sleeping with.
No. When now in her room, it was her and it was three other little girls that
Mhm.
I think the oldest is like maybe 10, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Mhm.
Um, I don't really talk to the little girls anymore or their
Right.
mother. But I think they were in Brooklyn's room. But
Mhm.
then another time when I came and I went to go pick up Brooklyn told me that she and Taria's daughter had they slept in her daddy's bed and they was
Okay.
looking and sleeping in his room. So it was two different occasions.
Okay.
Yeah.
So were your daughter was your daughter in North Carolina living with Damiro in October of 21?
Well, she was back and forth because we during like joint custody, I get her 1 week, he gets her 1 week.
Okay.
So she was back and forth, like my home, his home, my home, his home, and then sometimes my god she would watch hers, but she was kind of she was kind of we
So do you remember do you remember the last time you had your daughter in October of 2021? You can't remember that far back. It's okay if you can't.
now
I'm
I
just
that far back.
okay. So what about August of 2022? Was she
August of 2022, she was back and forth.
she was back and forth?
Yeah, she was still back and forth.
Okay, so do you remember when the last time you had her?
The last time I had her
In August of 2022.
was about the end of August. It was the end of August. It was like August 28th, like August 28th.
Okay. Okay. Now, did Brooklyn ever tell you that Damiro, that her dad was kissing on this little girl or rubbing on this little girl? She
No,
never told you anything.
no. She did. Well, I went to go pick Brooklyn up from the house, and Brooklyn told me right then and there. She was like, Mom, and she was like, so and so. She was like, so and so got a baby in her tummy, and I'm like, oh, okay. But at that time, I
Mhm.
had already knew. I was just trying to play it off because Demiro did not know that I knew.
Mhm.
Because, like I said, they had came to the church and they told me about it, but he didn't know that I knew about it.
Mhm. Right. Right.
So it was just yeah.
So did she ever say anything like? I'm just trying to pick your brain, just in case I say something that you may
Yeah.
remember that she did say that we didn't mention. So did she say anything like her dad maybe saying you're gonna have a little sister or a little brother or oh my gosh,
No,
Brooklyn, you feel it? She never
no,
came back and said dad said any of that. Okay.
no.
So when was the last time you had Brooklyn? Like
Before
before today?
Christmas.
Christmas. Okay. And then she went back with him
Yeah.
because he fled from. Let me ask you this. When did you know that he fled? Like, was there any communication with you and him that, hey, I'm going to Atlanta, I'm going to Union City, then I got North Carolina?
Okay, so this was the kind of weird part. So
Okay.
we was at my godmom's house for Christmas. I went over there because I took the girls over there. Because my godmom, she, for the kids and stuff. So I took her over there. He came over there because holidays, we share holidays with Brooklyn. I get her on the eve of the holiday, half the holiday. He gets her the holiday, and the other half of the holiday and the day after. But this particular day, I told him, I said, well, hey, I said, I'm gonna get Brooklyn back on Thursday because I had plans for my daughter. And I originally they asked my godmom and them asked to kind of spend some time with her before I come back and get the girls because my
Right.
oldest is already there. And I asked them out, and I called them every day and asked them, and I said, well, I said, have y'all seen Brooklyn? They was like, no, we thought that she was supposed to be coming. And I said, well, she is supposed to be coming. And they said, well, no, we haven't seen her or heard. So I said, okay. So he said, call Dimiro and ask Damiro. I'm like, nah, I don't want to do that because I started an argument. So I called his aunt. And I said, hey, have you heard from have you heard from him? And she said, yeah, why, what's wrong? And I told her, I said, well, I was trying to girls on Thursday, but I haven't heard anything from him. And she said, well, let me contact him and then I'll tell him to contact you. So I said, okay. And she did, and he did contact me right away. And I asked him, I said, where you at? And he didn't, he didn't want to he didn't want to say exactly where he was at or whatever. And stop. He didn't want to say exactly where he was at. And then that's when I asked him, ask him why he didn't tell you that he was taking her to Atlanta. And I asked him, I said, so let me ask you this. I said, why you didn't tell me you was taking Brooke to Atlanta? And he said, well, a lot came up and I had to get back and I had to go to work. And I'm like, well, you knew that I was coming to get her. And he admitted, he said his communication was off. He did admit that. He said he had to hurry up so he can get back to work. And I said, okay. And he stated that he didn't have nobody to watch her. And I'm
Right.
like, well, my mom and them was waiting on her because they had stuff that they wanted to do with the before I came and got them. So, we got into a big brawl over that. And then, we kind of talked it out. And then that was pretty much it.
So he takes Brooklyn to Atlanta. Don't let you know. Okay. So you recently.
Here you go.
Oh my God. Lord have mercy. Cause this part right here. Y'all, so this right here is Sentry's pool. Okay. Damiro only have two children, right? Two kids. Well, before this last one, Brooklyn was his only daughter, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Far as
So
yes.
far as you concerned, okay. Uh we're gonna have to find out if he got some other babies out there lost, like how they find that lost money. We're gonna have to find and see if Damiro got some babies out there. Let me just catch y'all up to speed of what's going on, because I know some of y'all are saying y'all confused. That's why you got to be on time. So this lady right here, Sentry's, is Dimiro Johnson's baby mom. Okay, she is his baby mother to his first child, Brooklyn. She's 3 years old. You guys saw her. She waved. Okay, I'm interviewing her just so people don't be confused. This is not Cheyenne. Okay, Cheyenne is his wife. Okay, she has filed for divorce, and I just don't understand why she just didn't get an annulment because they hadn't been married that long. But um Sentry's is Dimiro Johnson's um uh baby mom. Okay. She was she was present today at the airport getting ready to get her daughter when the police swarmed them to get Dimiro Johnson. So we about to go into that. She's gonna talk about that. So you had recently planned a trip to Atlanta to go get your daughter. Tell me about when you planned the trip, or whatever, and all of that stuff?
Well, I contacted him yesterday. And I asked him, was I gonna be able to get her? Because I know that he works, and she said, he said yes. So I said, okay, that's
What he
fine.
working? I mean, what he work doing? Being a full, a power bottom. I mean, what he work doing? What kind of job he got?
He,
Do you know?
I, but
You don't know what type of job he had?
no, not really.
Okay, y'all. She's trying to be she's a full-time mother as well. So y'all give her a minute. She's trying to get her babies together at the same time. So, um, this hair wrap is getting tight around my. It's getting tight up around here. I might got to take it off in a minute. It's just getting real tight up here. Y'all just give her a minute. So just to catch y'all up, go ahead and do that. Just to catch y'all up, Damiro is a gay man who were having relationships with women. He got a 14-year-old girl, and his spiritual daughter. Y'all know how these pastors is now. Back in the day when I was growing up, it was like we respected the bishop. If we got to shake the bishop hand, it was like, oh my gosh, we Bishop, God bless you. That was a good word, sir. That was a good word, sir. I mean, nowadays it's like, oh, come to the house. I'm gonna cook some popcorn and put extra butter on it. Come on, sleep in the bed with me and let me. I know them demons chasing you and they hunt you at night and you're having nightmares. And Michael Jackson is walking through your room looking like the Grand Reaper. Come on, get in the bed. And it's like, you can sleep with me like you sleep at home. And it's like, but these pastors, these young kids that are growing up 12, 10 years old, they really love their pastors and they really like honor and honor their leaders. And that's a perfect thing to do. But you have these leaders that's taking they like Eddie Long. They just like Eddie Long. Eddie Long was fucking them boys with his every finger on his hand. And all them deacons, didn't nobody have no discernment. Y'all know when Eddie Long was laying them hands on y'all, his hands was smelling like doo-doo. But y'all didn't want to say, Bishop, you need to get down here and lay down and get delivered because something ain't right with you. When he started shriveling up like a raisin, y'all thought he was a vegan, huh? I wonder what y'all go. Let me know when you're ready. She's taking care of kids. Hold on, let me see. I'm just trying to understand. What's going on. So Damiro had been grooming this young lady. He had been grooming her. You heard what Cheyenne said. Cheyenne said that she didn't want to talk to her. We already knew that because to her, it's like, girl, you stealing my man. You married to my man. What the fuck I'm about to take this off. What the fuck I'm about to be happy with you for? But Damiro groomed her. He manipulated her. He tried to make her believe. Oh, Lord have mercy, Jesus. Y'all be fucking the kids. Leave the children alone. Leave the children alone. Why y'all just this shit giving me a headache because I'm so tired of these special victims cases. Leave the children alone. Now y'all got to hear this part about what happened down at the airport today. I don't understand why y'all keep fucking with the kids. Y'all don't want to fuck with the drama. Y'all don't. I mean, god damn. All that coochie Vanessa Long had and Eddie Long wanted the boys. Y'all need to stop tricking these women. Y'all know, and women, when you see him switching, stop ignoring the signs. Leave, excuse me, leave. She coming back. Leave the children alone. Kia, I'm gonna bring her back when I get ready. How about you, the girl? I'm about to let me go on and block you because I'm finna thunder catch your ass. Let me go on and get you up out of here. Have a good day. Okay, you good?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna state what happened, and because I just
You sure? Cause we finna get into some things.
my daughter. Yeah.
Okay. So you flew down to Atlanta today.
Right.
And you were going to get Brooklyn.
Right.
Well, let me back up. Let me back up. Before you went to Atlanta, okay, you planned to go to Atlanta to get Brooklyn. Tell me about what happened during your planning.
Nothing.
Okay, so nothing happened during your planning.
No.
So, you get to Atlanta and you're at the airport. What happens when you get to Atlanta?
I got to the airport and I received a phone call and they asked me was I here, and I'm like, yeah, but I really didn't know exactly who it was, so I didn't really think nothing of it. And
Who did you receive a phone call from?
It was a Georgia number that I received a phone call from.
Okay.
But
they didn't tell you who they were?
No.
Okay.
So I contacted him to try to see exactly where he was because I know exactly where he was, and if anybody that been to Atlanta airport, they know it's big.
Right.
You have domestic side, you have international side.
Right.
Contacted him to try to see exactly where he was, and he was giving me instructions on where exactly he was at, and I walked out to get Brooklyn, and in the midst of me walking out, I was on the phone with him because I did not know exactly where he was. I thought he was driving one thing and he was driving something else. He got out the car and ended up he got out the car and showed me that it was him. So I was like, I'm like, okay, you got a car. That's nice. You got a new car.
Can you help me, Mommy? Can you help?
Give her a minute, y'all. That thing was getting tight on my head. So, okay. So, wait. So, he was doing all of this just to get your child back?
I don't know if he was doing all this just to get her back. Because, I mean, if one, like, he saw her, I mean.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, so he wasn't in the car. He wasn't in the car that he was supposed to be in.
No, the car that I normally see him in, he wasn't in. And it was just told to me that he had got a new car, which was okay. That's that's good. You just got a new car.
He just got a new car, huh?
So
right.
I like I said, I didn't know about the car. But then again, I was just like, okay, I saw the car and I'm like, okay, it's that's what's up. You got a new car.
Right.
Then he got out the car. He walked on the other side of the car and he went to grab my daughter out the car. And it's like he was holding her because she was asleep. As soon as he picked her up and leaned his head up out the car, that's when they called him. They called his name. And
who called his name?
Huh?
Who called his name?
That's good. It was like 3 officers that called his name, and they came and they was running towards the car, and he looked at me and I looked at him and I'm like, whoa, like what? And he was like literally about to, drop our daughter or whatever, but I was able to get her, and I was asking like, what's up? Nobody wanted to say nothing, but he didn't run or nothing. He didn't run or anything, but I really had to get my daughter away from that situation because that's traumatizing for a child at the end of the day.
Yeah. So the police picked him up. So this was when you was getting ready to get the baby. So I'm just trying to understand. I'm just really trying to understand because I'm a little confused just a little bit. So when you get to the airport, because this is a lot going on just to get a child.
Yeah.
I done took my damn head rag off. My hair all fucked
I mean,
up. I'm just trying to get to understand. This is a lot to get a child, baby. This is a lot to get a child. Now, this is a lot. This is a lot. Okay, so look, I got my hair fucked up. I don't know which way to turn it, which way to curl it. Like, I'm just all fucked up. So so you get to the airport. So okay, let me mind this back because I ain't in my right mind right now. Let me back this up just a little bit. Y'all bear with me. Lord have mercy, just bear with me. So before you get to the airport, I just want to back this up. We about to start over this part. So when you land, what's the conversation that you having with him? I'm about to land. I mean, what's the conversation?
Yeah, I did let him know. I said, hey, because he got there before me. He got there before me, but like I said, if you know anybody that knows being at the airport, you can't sit in the arrival area. You have to pick him up and keep him moving.
Mm-hmm.
So he was sitting there in the area.
Right, I'm listening to you. Go ahead.
He was sitting there in the area, and I guess he was asked to move. So he did let me know that he was asked to move. So I said, okay, cool. I said, well, I'm just not landing. We about to get off. Pulling into the gate or whatever. So he said, okay, cool. And he told me to, what door he was gonna be at, and that was. I got off the airplane and walked over to the door that he was at.
Okay, so he told you what car. So he told you. So did he tell you what car he was in?
No, he never told. He never told me. Never told me what car. Cause I asked him. I did ask him exactly. I said, you're not. I asked him. I said, I don't see the car that you normally drive. He said, well, oh, he was like, no, I got a new car. I got a new car. So I'm like, a new car. Okay, cool. So he, like I said, as I got closer, I told him, I was like, well, I don't see you. And that's when he jumped out of the driver's seat. And I was like, oh, okay. Then I just got a new car. Okay. Cool.
So, right. So how did the police know he was going to be at the airport?
Your guess is just as better than mine.
Was that them on the phone that you were talking to?
No, I have no idea.
So okay.
Nobody. If your number's not saved in my phone, I don't really answer.
Right.
But this number kept calling and calling and calling.
Right. Right. Okay, so again, I'm just bear with me. So the phone call that you got, what was being stated on the call again?
It was just actually say, hey, have you arrived at the airport? And I said yes. And they said, okay. They asked like, said, what gate are you coming from? And I told them what gate I was coming from, and they said, have you came through TSA? And I'm like, no.
But it wasn't Damiro.
And you don't, huh?
It wasn't Damiro.
No, it wasn't Dimiro. Because I was texting him. I didn't call him until after I got closer to the gate.
Okay. So you got to the airport, you get a phone call, you get ready to get your daughter. So how was the exchange?
I mean, I got her and they ran up to the car and it was like he went around and they just surrounded him. Like,
so you gave information to somebody you don't even know.
I just thought, because like I said, it might have been a family member, because I don't really fool my family like that, to be
But I'm
honest.
saying you didn't ask them who is this? What the fuck? Cause somebody called my motherfucking phone. It's like,
Now I did ask. They never gave who they were. They just hung up the phone. So I
okay,
said,
okay, okay. Um, so when he gets out the car to give you your baby, the police just swarms in on him.
yeah, they came running down. They came running down looking like some big old trees.
Oh my God!
Yeah, they were looking like some big old trees.
Did they have guns out?
Now I don't know nothing about that. I ain't
You
even
ain't
stick
see
around.
no guns.
I ain't even stick around to find out, player.
So what did what? No. I'm saying when you was right there when they got him because he was about to drop Brooklyn, wasn't he?
Yeah, they didn't touch him until I had Brooklyn.
Okay.
They did not touch him until I had Brooklyn, because I know there was a rumor that went out stating that Brooklyn was left in the car. No, Brooklyn was not.
Yeah. So so let me ask you this: what were they saying to him when
Now that
after,
part I can't tell you.
so you ran, you left?
I I have a 3-year-old daughter. She did not need to see that.
Okay, so you just wanted to get out of Dodge.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you received any phone calls from Damiro since he's been in custody?
No.
Okay. Have you received any phone calls from anyone else since he's been in custody?
No, not really.
Okay. Okay, hold on. Okay, so um have they told you what his charges? I mean, have you found out what his charges were
No,
or
I
what his
haven't.
arrest was related to? So you know that they are.
Since I left, I haven't heard nothing else.
So he ain't called and checked on Brooklyn.
No.
No, you good. Um, so they swarmed his ass and picked his ass up from the airport, and you have just haven't heard anything back from him.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we know he's in custody. The North Carolina beat. We spoke with the Clayton County Sheriff's Office this afternoon. And Dimiro Johnson was taking the test. What time was it that y'all did the exchange?
I got to the airport about like 11:45 ish. Well,
Mhm,
11:20 something. I didn't get down there till about 11:40. It's about 11:40. So
mhm. Okay. I'm just, this phone. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. Look, Sentry's fuck them other hoes. You hear what I'm saying?
yeah,
Fuck them people. Fuck them people. Don't worry about them people. What the people got to say. Um, you know, I just I'm gonna leave it right there because I already know we had a conversation offline or whatever, and I just but I want to thank you so much for coming on to the NCB and talking to me about this, and my main purpose was to bring you on because you saw him literally get arrested as you was picking up your daughter.
right.
um Now let me ask you this. I know that you had joint custody and it was back and forth. You get him a week, he gets him a week. Um, and forgive me if I've already asked this question, but you were getting Brooklyn not because he moved Brooklyn to Atlanta without telling you, but because it was your week to get her when he had moved her. So you was like, you don't had her long enough. It's time for me to get her back now. Or did he know that he was getting ready to be arrested, or he knew that the police were on him and he just didn't want her to be around that if he got caught?
No, that was not even a conversation. I asked him. I said, "Hey, am I going to be able to get her soon? You know, I miss her, whatever." He was like, "Yeah." So like I said, because I was off today, I went and got her.
Right. Hey,
So,
right. Give me one moment. Okay, so what happened? Okay. So thank you so much for coming on and talking with me. Um, I really appreciate it. And I'll give you a call once we get off.
okay,
All right. Thank you.
you're welcome.
I pray we all be ready. I pray we all be ready. I pray we all be ready for his return. I pray that we get our business great so we can all be at the gate. Listen, y'all don't go nowhere. I'm trying to get Cheyenne on the line. Y'all remember Miss Taylor Port? I'm trying to get Cheyenne on the line. Y'all remember Cheyenne that we did an interview with? I'm just trying to get her reaction from um Dimiro being arrested today. Oh, I want to show y'all this because Damiro is in custody, y'all. Let me show y'all this. This is from the Clayton County. Anybody can go up there to the Clayton County jail inmate line. And you can pull this up. I'm trying to get Cheyenne on the line. Okay, hold on, y'all. I want to show this to y'all. I'm trying to get Cheyenne on the line. Can y'all see this right here? This right here. This is Dimiro Rick Johnson. His law enforcement number is 2260795. He was arrested today, 1/5/23. Intake time was 2:47. He was arrested by the Atlanta Police Airport Division. He's a male. It should be a female, but he's a male. He's black when he should be white because, you know, they're not the people that do this. Shit. No, stop. His height is 5'10", weigh about 140 pounds. His address is 213 West Kearns Avenue, High Point, North Carolina. Dimiro Rick Johnson committed. He is a fugitive from justice. Okay. Now, what y'all, if you don't know what that means, that just means that he has a warrant in another state and he was arrested in another state, different from the state that he has the warrant in, and you know, they're holding him pending his extradition back to the state of North Carolina. I've been telling y'all that Damiro, oh, she ready, that Dimiro Johnson was going. I told this that he was going to jail. I told all them church members. I told all them frauds. He going to jail. Man, y'all don't believe that, man. Man, listen, anything I talk about and put out on my blog is the mother gospel. Okay. 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 I don't put no lies. I don't lie on nobody. I'm gonna give it to you straight with no chase. I'm gonna tell you what it is and what it ain't. And I told y'all from the get-go. that this dog was going to the dog pound. Hold on, let me get Cheyenne on the line. Let me get Miss Heliport on the line. Can I get Miss Taylor Port on the line? Yay! Hold on, y'all. Give me.
I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Can you tilt your camera up a little bit? Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Oh God, Cheyenne.
I'm sober this time,
You
so
still this side. You ain't got no Taylor Port on the
no,
line.
nah, nope.
Oh God. Okay. So Dimiro Johnson has been arrested.
Right.
How did you find out?
Um, you. While everybody coming for me talking about I called the police and this and that. I did not call no police on
Yeah, you
him.
really didn't know he was locked up because you was like,
I
huh?
was like, yeah. I
Yeah.
thought you were asking me. That's why I was like, oh,
Yeah, I was. I was like, did you hear that Damiro had been because at the
see,
time
we both
I
didn't.
didn't know.
Me either.
Yeah, at the time I didn't know. Um at the time I did not know. Can you hear me? Can y'all hear me? At the time I didn't know if at the time I didn't know if you knew he was arrested. So
I didn't even know you was going live. I would have been on here an hour and 23 minutes ago.
oh no,
No, I had no clue. And then once I found out, people start hitting me like, you got him traumatized, you got his baby traumatized, and you called the police on him, and we gonna come to his family threatening me, we coming to Denver tomorrow, and blah blah blah. And I'm like,
they need to be going down there to the motherfucking commissary office and put some money on his books instead of y'all going up to the Colorado to fuck with Cheyenne.
cause Cheyenne don't think about Damiro every day. This ain't a thing that I sit around and think about. Only time I have to think about him is March 7th when we get that divorce. So
Ooh. So the
it's
divorce is
just
final March 7th?
my attorney's trying to get it finalized before that
Yeah.
because Denver is slow and that's the only court date that we have because it's packed out here. But yeah, that's as of right now, that's the date. And obviously he's not gonna make that date. So it might happen before that. It's y'all gonna know when it happens because I'm definitely gonna probably make my profile picture them papers, to be honest.
Send them to me. So you posted a post. You said last post I'll ever post about this man, but Dimiro Johnson is finally in jail and you had freedom with praying emojis. How did that make you feel when it came out that a man, and you know what, Cheyenne, a lot of people wasn't on your side. A lot of people wasn't for you. But
Of course not.
I heard your story. And when I went back and replayed the interview that we did, I saw the hurt in your face when the young man was telling you that he was supposed to be the first lady. I must say this. I'm gonna say this. You remember
Mhm.
that when he said he was supposed to be the
Mhm.
first lady, and he said that you were just supposed to be the surrogate.
Yeah.
That
I
what?
had to
How did that make you
rewatch
feel
it
when he
so
said that?
so I got a little drunk because I was nervous to do the interview. So honestly, I had to go back and listen to it. It don't make me feel no type of way. Like I said, now probably
Mhm,
back then I would have been more hurt, but I found out so much since then that it's like
mhm.
it is what it is. Like him being on gay porn websites still when we
Yeah.
together, him screenshotting dicks and all that. It's like That's what he wanted. So I wish he would have lived his truth. Like I would have rather him live his truth than use me to cover up whatever he was using me to cover
Yeah.
up. And honestly, like I read some of the stuff, people was like, oh, women have that intuition. And you're right. I knew he was a little more on the feminine side. But at the same time, I wish people could see the side that I really saw of him. He didn't act all feminine and flick his wrist and he didn't do all that. He was
Yeah.
manly. He liked to play fight and he liked to do manly stuff. But
Mhm.
once everything started coming out, I seen the more feminine side. And
Mhm.
if he would have lived his truth, we could have been friends or something. Well, until I found
Mhm.
out about this, we could have
Right.
just been best friends or something. I love having me
Yeah.
some little gay best friends. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But
Not the shade. Oh my god. Boy, your wife is talking about you could have been her gay best friend.
yeah,
Okay,
dead
so
ass.
I really honestly wanted to tell you that you know he really tried. I understand being marrying someone for 4 months is really a small amount of time, but it was more about humiliation to you at the same time. And it was more about, okay, you said it's not true. Okay, whatever. But then as you begin to go on and your days began to progress, you start finding out that the man that were telling you it wasn't true, that the things that you were seeing and finding out were becoming true. So at
Yeah.
some point you mentally checked out of the relationship.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
So I can say this. This will be better than the first time because I ain't on that
Right.
other.
Yeah.
So when we met, everything was cool. He had his covering. I don't know if there's any pastors watching, but if y'all
Who was
did,
his covering?
oh, that's what we were trying to
Was
figure
it
out last
was
night.
it was it was it Dirty Butt Dupree?
It was someone right under him. Um,
Under Dupree?
yeah, it was someone right under him.
Was it Johnson? Cockeye Johnson?
No, he's an
What
older
Johnson?
man. He was on. If you look at the birthday celebration program, he was on there. He's a dark skin.
Oh,
I can't. I don't have that flyer. I can't go
I
look.
got it. I
Oh
got
yeah.
it. The
If you
North Carolina beat has it.
if you say his name, I promise you I'll point out
I'm
who
gonna
he is.
read it to you. You got Chief Apostle, Dirty Butt Dupree.
Nope.
You got Rabbi Johnny Jody Cherry. I mean, uh, you got Chief Apostle A. Merritt. You got Chief Apostle Sean Warner Smith.
Mm-mm.
You got Download Trade Ryan Fontenot. You got Archbishop R. Atkins.
That's it.
What?
Yep.
Shut your mouth and keep on talking like that. He said,
That's it.
what?
So
And
he
then
called.
you got Apostle Double Bottom Massey. That wasn't him, but you said it was
It was.
Archbishop. Mm-hmm.
Yep. So he called one day from. I was taking Damiro to get his, and he was like, "Your ministry is not blessed. You guys are not gonna have like a good life in Christ. You guys shack up and you guys are not married. You guys do ministry together and you guys are not married. And your church, I'm gonna sit you down if you don't just get married now and then do the wedding later. Cause we were wedding planning. That's another thing. So I told him I don't want to do it. We need to wait because we did it kind of fast already and we need to wait, we need to build bread, we need to do all that. He's like, well, I'm getting sat down and I'm not about to be sat down and blah blah blah, so let's just, if we're already going to do it, let's just do it. And it took me a while. Like even when we went to Vegas, I was like, I'm trying to find any way not to do it. Did it. Yes.
Why did y'all go to Vegas to get married instead of getting married in your state or North Carolina?
Hello, I'm gonna tell you that too. This is me being dumb. Y'all call me dumb because it's facts. I was looking. There was no appointments to do it in Colorado. Like I said, Colorado's booked. We got criminals out here, so courts are just not open. I asked him if we could do it in Charlotte, and he told me that if we did it in Charlotte, it wouldn't be valid. Like he was saying all this stuff. He was like, I don't want to do it anywhere me and you live. Let's do it somewhere else. So I was like, okay.
So he didn't want the other wife, the boy, to find out. that
Or there's that, but I was trying
Mhm.
to do it in Charlotte. I didn't want to do it in Vegas because I felt like Vegas wasn't even like an official thing. To be honest, I thought that was some shit people really just do for fun. Like if you're doing something serious for ministry, why are
Yeah.
we going to Vegas? But my dumb ass did it, and it was sad because after I was just crying the whole time out there, like I was miserable. It was literally a day trip. Like we got there in the morning and we left the next morning. Came back to Denver. So
So, mm,
yeah,
wow.
it was rough.
Does Atkins have a wife?
He does.
Oh, we should. Oh, he do. He okay. So he has
No,
a wife,
he has a wife. Like she don't play that. Like she's a wife for real.
but
And
she don't know if he's stepping out and cheating on her with another man, though, right?
nah, but
Because you didn't know that your husband was cheating on, was sleeping with another man either,
I had no idea.
but you found out.
But I found out.
So how do you feel that he's in jail right now? How do you feel? Tell me. I want you to tell me from the bottom of your heart how you feel about Dimiro Rick Johnson being in the Clayton County jail right now, laying on his back, looking up to the ceiling,
Here you go.
saying that damn juror, that goddamn NCP motherfucker. That if it wasn't for that motherfucker, I would have got away. How do you feel?
Oh my God. I
'Cause
know.
that's what he's doing. Oh, baby, I've been to prison. Listen, I've been to jail and prison. I know how it feels when you don't think you're going to jail and you got to sit in that motherfucker and you just like, man, that's some motherfucking bullshit, man. All you can do is put a t-shirt over your eyes, get a towel, tie that bitch around your eyes, and lay your ass down
I
and wait till them lights go
yeah,
off and go to sleep.
I ain't never been to jail, so I don't know. But
Well, I'm letting you know, Dimiro Johnson. Let me tell you something. God covered me and protected me. He didn't let nothing happen to me. Okay, people never fuck with me because everybody knew who I was. Any motherfucker, they like you to do that, be exposing all them crooked ass. And I was in that bitch exposing them hoes until they
oh,
put me in the hole for exposing their ass. But I had a cell phone. I ain't had no motherfucking cell phone. I got on y'all phone and called home and had my people post on the blog. So, how do you feel?
I'm truly like when I first found out, and then it got confirmed. I immediately went to Google like Clayton County inmate. Like I wanted to see the charges. Like I was happy because, like I said, with everything in life comes a consequence. You can't
Mhm.
fuck over people and expect to be cool and just live your life. Like I have found out that he had services and shit on like New Year's Eve, and he was still preaching. And I'm just like, how is
Yeah.
your covering not sitting you down from doing ministry in Georgia right now, but you was gonna sit him down if he didn't get married, but he can still preach while he has an open case.
Why
So
he done fucked the child?
yeah, and it's funny because this preacher has blocked me on everything because I have let him know this is not fair. You're letting this man still do ministry, but you cussing us out about being out of wedlock. And so I was actually very excited,
Mhm.
because like I said, he needs to be punished. Just like if your kids are bad and tell you to shut up or something, you gonna tell your kid, "Oh, okay, you're good." No, you're gonna whoop your kid's ass. Punishment, consequence. So he's getting what is long overdue because it's not fair to the 15-year-old child. I won't say her name. It's not fair to her. It's not fair to her mom. It wasn't fair to me, and it's not fair to anyone else victimized. So
Right.
he needs to sit down and he needs to really think about what he did to people and accept his consequence. And he might like it in there.
Right. I want to play this audio recording because this is an audio recording of Damiro Johnson admitting to you that he made a mistake. It wasn't a mistake. You knew this girl was 14. Only a child molester and a predator would have fallen in a trap. Not no real man. I want to play this audio real quick because I put it in the beginning a little bit, but I had something else going on.
Hold on.
Hold on. Let me wait.
This stuff.
Let me
Like this, like you've been setting me up all this time. Like I said, I'll never deny I made a mistake. Okay, I fell into the trap. It could have happened to anybody. I will never deny that.
He sure did say that.
But this girl, hold on.
Now this audio, they're on FaceTime and he's showing her screenshot of messages that he was sending the little girl, and that she was sitting back. But we're not gonna show the video. Just gonna play audio. I want you guys to hear this. It's a little bit. It's. I'm not playing the full audio.
The important
Who was
part.
that?
So now remember when I said there's two different snaps that she be snapping me from?
Oh.
This is one of the other snaps. I think it's this one. No. I can't remember which snap that is. Yana. So I think she stopped snapping me from one snap because I think the mama probably grabbed her phone or something. So she probably logged out of that snap real quick. Like, that's all I've been trying to say is I get it. You know, I know, once again, I know things was done, okay? But I'm also trying to get you to see that this girl is not, I don't know how I can say it. I just know at the end of the day, this girl is not no perfect freaking angel. And at the end of the day, just like, Pastor asked me today, which a lot of people has asked me, do I believe that this is a setup that mama sent that girl my way on purpose? Because even the pastor said that he has noticed after everything came out.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but I've been asking you a question. You ain't said nothing.
No, I haven't been hearing nothing.
You can hear me now?
Yeah, now I can.
Didn't you tell me what that jacked website was?
Yeah, I did.
So why was you on it?
Why was I on it?
Yeah.
Because I wanted
You heard
to
what
see
she said.
who all was in the area. I wanted to see who all, because there's a lot of people that said this, a lot of people that said that, and I wanted to see. I wanted to try to see.
That right there was like he literally I had to ask him what jacked was. I was like, "What is that?" This was when we when I first was going through his phone. I'm like, "What is jacked?" Because he immediately deleted it. It was on his phone, and we were laying in bed one day. This was like when he was in Denver the last time, and he swiped it. I'm like, "What's that?" He's like, "Oh, nothing. It's an old dating app I used to be on." So I didn't pay my dumb ass once again. I was like, "Oh, okay. As long as you delete it, husband, you know." And so then when the blog came out is when I really found out what it was. It's a gay dating app. And so when he's showing me the pictures in the corner, you can see the website that you on. It says jacked. So I'm like, you showing me all these pictures and then you on this gay site. Like it never stops. Like live your truth. You should have lived your truth from jump, to be honest with you.
But about the 14-year-old girl at the time, he said it. He said, "I made a mistake." Anyone would have fell in that trap. No, the fuck, anyone would have fell in that trap, nigga. You a motherfucking pedophile, bro. First of all, you not no bishop. Stop calling yourself a bishop. You not no apostle. Stop calling yourself an apostle. You not no prophet. Stop calling yourself a prophet, because you not nothing of the fivefold ministry.
It just
You're
made me
nothing.
because he literally like his biggest fight to try to keep me from leaving him was anybody would have done it. Any man in my situation would have done it. I'm like, so I'm asking men. I'm asking my dad, my uncles, my brothers. I'm like, hey, if a 14-year-old was throwing pussy at you, would you take it? They're like, hell no. I'm just like, well, you said any man. I'm about to find a man that says, you know what, if I was a little horny that day, or if I just was a little desperate that no man has admitted, like, yeah, I would have took it. That was his biggest
Now,
thing. He said that.
Dimiro Johnson is a rapist. He raped a 14-year-old, then 14-year-old girl, got her pregnant, and he fled to Atlanta. And he thought while he was in Atlanta that he would not get caught. And he thought that because this little girl had been communicated back and forth with him, that he was going to get away. But the devil, but the devil had you fooled.
Yeah.
Okay, because you really thought that you was going to get away with it. I read that scripture to y'all, and I told y'all what that scripture said. That scripture was not lying. Let me tell you something. Leave the children alone.
Please.
You not no bullseye prophet. Ain't no such thing. You not no eagle's eye prophet. You not no apostle. You not no prophet. Because if you was if you was a prophet, hell, Todd Hall could have seen this. I mean, he's standing behind the pulpit and call people names out and addresses and social security numbers out and tell them who they're gonna get back. You know, he could have seen this. That's how I know some of y'all ain't no real prophets. You a prophet, but you didn't see that. You didn't see. You a prophet, but you didn't see not to go to the airport today. You a prophet. Oh, you a prophet, huh? You a prophet. All you saw was little girls' coochies. All you saw was getting another girl pregnant on your wife. Right here, Cheyenne. Are you ready to be divorced?
Absolutely.
Do you regret meeting him?
Yeah, I regret meeting him, but I now have like what I'm going through. I could turn into so much. I could help other people. Like it's like it was supposed to happen. I hate that it happened to me, but now if this ever happens to somebody else and they find me, they could be like, "What did you do?" or "What can I do?" Or because apparently this happens a lot. I have only been in church for 7 years. I ain't grow up in church. I wasn't the little girl in Sundays. None of that. I started going to church when I was 19. I'm 27. So I really haven't been in church that long to know that pastors really be doing this to people all the time. Like, I didn't know that. So this is new to me. I'm like, this is crazy. People are like, no, this happens. So I want to be able to help people. Like now I'm about to find a way to outreach and help other people, kids, all that. Because this right here,
Yeah.
this ain't no game. And then they have people threatening me all day. Are we coming to Denver and we gonna do this to you and that's you? I'm
Don't
like,
worry about them.
I ain't even do nothing.
Don't worry about them.
I had his address. If I wanted him arrested, they would have came to his house. I wanted him to go
Yeah.
to court, to be honest with y'all. Then
Yeah.
I don't
Don't
want
worry about them.
messed up at all.
They ain't gonna do nothing. Tell them hoes to go run up some money to put some commissary that because you know pep a pack of oodle noodles is about $3 in there. So you know, go on and send them some money. Go on and start them hot plate dinners. Go on and do y'all some DiGiorno pizza
Yeah.
sales. You know what I'm saying? Go on and have all these revivals. Big mouth, loud mouth. You know, nasty holy convocation 2023. Go on and have these convocation and raid these offerings up. Cause we're gonna be seeing a lot of y'all coming back before your people tonight, before your people talking about we ain't meet our goal. It
I'm
ain't my fault. I sold $25. You better make that mother, you better make it last. You better call, you better get on the line that these regular people do and say, listen, I needed a stitch.
it's
You
so
need the lights paid. Go ahead.
they're gonna bind him out. They're gonna
He
find out.
ain't got no bond.
Oh,
Yeah, he in there with no bond.
I can't.
And listen, even when he get back to North Carolina and he gets a bond, he's still going to prison when the trial starts.
If he runs
So you
away,
can, so all y'all doing is wasting your money. You could be saving that to put on his prison books. You know what I'm saying? They give him because it's cheaper. Them the oodle noodles in prison like 10 cents, so it's cheaper. But you know he don't have a bond right now. He in there with no bond. Okay, the judge said you're not going home today. Okay, you're gonna sit here to North Carolina come get you.
mm,
So at the end of the day, um, you know, we already know they finna start doing all these food sales and you know they don't went to Staples and got that temperature printed out so they get that little red mark and mark they goal and you know, I mean they
who's
love
that?
Damiro. You know why they love Damiro?
Who's they? Because all these people, some people who, I wish I would have never. There's some people who will. I'm just gonna pray for him. I ain't seen. I've seen maybe
I
two.
ain't praying for him. I ain't praying for him. All my prayers been, Lord, lock him up. Let him catch him. I wish they would have busted that New Year's Eve service and locked his ass up while he was down there. Where he was at South Carolina.
I think so. There was a flyer with like three different pastors, and he was one of them.
He was one of them.
I was like, wow, this
We
is
need to go down
like
to South Carolina, make sure he wasn't fucking with the children down there either.
we can just go preach whenever we want to, no matter what we doing. I'm gonna go preach too at this point.
Thank you so much, Cheyenne. I am praying for you. And I'm just praying for your healing. I know that you are hurt. You say you over it, but you know this has been. very humiliating to you, that what he has taken you through. And I just thank you that no matter what happened then, but you found a place that you are in where you can come out and say, this is what I know, this is what happened, and I didn't know anything about this.
Cause I ain't gonna lie, it took a minute. Like when stuff first coming out, I was like, I don't really want to say nothing. So I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like, who do I run to? Do I do this,
Mhm.
that? And when I did contacting the detective, it was like, wow, I should have did if I had put my kid in a situation like this.
Mhm.
It would be a little. I can't say what
Yeah.
happened, but if I was to run to the police, I would. But if I was,
Mhm.
what would I want someone to
Yeah.
say? Seeing my daughter phone doing all
Yeah.
this? Yeah, but I appreciate
Yeah. You're welcome. Thank you so much, Cheyenne. And I'm sorry to wake you up. Good night.
it.
And Happy
Nah,
New Year to you and your
thank,
baby.
thank you.
You're welcome. Later. Well, that conclude the service tonight. Leave the children alone. If you missed the interview that I did with Cheyenne, it is one you need to watch. You got to scroll down till you see it. But Dimiro Johnson is in jail. My prayer goes out to Miss Tierra Bournes. Let me tell you something. That woman is so strong. She's a strong woman, and she has some very respectable children, and they ride for their mama, and that's what men supposed to do. That's what boys are supposed to do, ride for their mother. It was just so, and I remember telling her, ignore them, don't worry about it. Who gives a fuck what they say? No one does anything for you. You do it for you, and you do it for your children. And I just remember when she spoke to me when we first had that conversation back in August of last year. And I asked her, I said, do you really want him in jail? She said, Joe, I really want him in jail. He has messed my baby up. And she never backtracked. She never said that she didn't want to do it anymore. She always told me that Dimiro Johnson was going to be arrested for impregnating her daughter. And the detective had all evidence. They could have been arresting him, but they wanted to wait until the baby was here. And the baby came 3 weeks ago, and things were put into motion to have Damiro arrested. He had ran to from Greensboro, or from High Point to Union City, Georgia. And today, you know, um, I ain't gonna say that because I'm not gonna say that. He was arrested, and I had to bring on his baby mother because she was there when he got arrested. So um people, his church members, um people that the pastors and the preachers that I spoke of, Dirty Butt Dupree, I mean Cockeyed Johnson, I mean Down Low Ryan Font, I mean all of these people had to know what Dimiro Johnson was doing. Even his own bishop, who wife probably see now that she don't even know what the hell going on, you know. But people's family out, Tierra Bournes, they really dogged her out, and they really went in on her, but she went in back. And that was a little dude. That was a dude. I don't know this dude name, but I want to play this video real quick because, well, no, I'm not gonna play it. I'm not gonna play it. No, 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 no. I'm not gonna play it. I will not play it. No, 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 no. I'm not gonna play it. But I just want to say that Damiro knew his day was coming, And he downplayed his arrest. He downplayed that anything would happen to him. He knew that he was on his way to the nearest jail. And I told him in text message, I told him when he called me and he asked if he could come on the North Carolina beat and tell his side of the story. And I told him through text message that you would soon be in handcuffs. I told him that. It's still on my personal Facebook page. But I will be by this family's side. I will be in Greensboro, North Carolina when he goes to court for his first court appearance. Okay. And I will be bringing you coverage on his way to North Carolina adult corrections. And Dimiro Johnson will go to prison. And he will be there for some time. Leaders, leave the children alone. Thank y'all so much. I've kept you long enough. Good night, y'all. Peace.